I used to work in an insurance defense law firm. That means I used to pore over mountains and mountains of medical records because you could bill a lot of hourly billing, poring over medical records and writing medical chronologies, right? The most boring, banal crap in the world, but very time consuming, very tedious, especially on big cases, thousands and thousands of pages of records to review. I had an old stack of medical records from an old case. And before anybody freaks out about like, oh, the security compliance, like HIPAA's, I mean, Google Gemini is totally secure. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that conversation. We can talk about it if you want to. But
well, you used to have concerns about that. I remember you brought, but a lot of those concerns have been, we've been satisfied with what the LLMs have told us about so
right.
Yeah.
Right. I've been satisfied. But in any event, so I was like, I uploaded this PDF of like 300, it was like 4 different PDFs from like 3 or 4 different medical providers. It was like 400 pages. And I was like, Gemini, take a look at these. Give me a medical chronology. Summarize the course of treatment. I want you to focus on lung exposure issues, any lung-related pulmonary issues like that. And in like 4 seconds, it read everything, outputted a perfect medical chronology. I went back and cross-checked all the pages. I was like, can you give me page citations to every single entry? And lo and behold, it linked to every single page where it pulled that information. Gemini is killing it with PDF review and that kind of stuff. But anyway, like whole categories of stuff, especially for litigators, is going to be so much easier. And you're still going to be in court because you can never put a robot in court. So
no, never will. So our case managers, without even like, we didn't even say, hey, go do this. They on their own started using AI to do our medical chronologies, and we're saving thousands of dollars a month on chronologies. You know, it's wild. You're right. They're better than what they were when a human created them. They are better than when a human created them. I can't stress that enough. They are better.
Yes.
And a lot of people are like, oh, they can't be. No, they're better because you're talking about, they hyperlink them to the parts in the records. We were getting before, we'd get something about with the medical chronology, and it would give like a page number, and we'd have to go find now it's now hyperlinked. It's just click, boom, I can go straight to that spot. So there's, and I do understand that there are some people that create medical summaries as humans that they will hyperlink, but that's a lot more work whenever an AI can do it in a matter of minutes or seconds. It's quite incredible.
And we're not talking about like fancy tools here. This is just Google Gemini, the one that you pay for free in Google Workspace. Like it's the one that I use in the sidecar of Google Drive. It just works. It blows my mind.
There's a really big thing I want to get to in a little bit. Before I get to that though, I do want to, I came up with this way of describing automation versus AI agents, and see, I want to get your thoughts on it and see where we can perfect this a little bit. Okay. So here's how I would describe an automation. I just came up with this yesterday, and I thought it would be fun to play around with you on this one. So to me, an automation is a nail is here and the hammer hits the nail. And so the automation is basically the hammer. Okay. You got nail comes up, the hammer hits it. Nail comes up, hammer hits it. Okay. An AI agent instead, here's the difference, right? Nail presents itself. The hammer says no. So the AI agent says nope. The nail's not the right fastener for this. Hammer's not the right fastener for the tool for this. This needs a screw and a screwdriver. Or no, glue would be better for this. It would be a better fastener. Or no, a stapler would be a better fastener for this. So the AI agent is instead, it's not the hammer. It's actually thinking about what the proper tool is, what the proper fastener for this is, and then it then does the fastening, right? Whereas automation is just the hammer. It hits the nail. So how can I perfect this to make it a little bit better, to explain it for people how to understand? Because people sometimes conflate the two, and they're not the same. They're drastically different.
They're drastically different. I think the analogy is a fine one. I've just kind of thought about it in the sense that like agents are dynamic. They're given tools to choose what's right in the moment. Exactly. So something comes up, they're perfect for dynamic workflows where you don't exactly know what's going to come in or what needs to go in or come out. It's for freeform. It's very good for things like freeform conversations, like, calls with a client or texts and emails back and forth with a client to answer their questions. I don't know what's going to be needed. Like let's put me in the shoes of the agent. Like if somebody sends me an email and says, "Hey, I need what's the status on my case," or whatever. Like I don't know exactly what is going to be needed to answer that question. I might need to check email. I might need to check the case management system. Could you write an automation that just fetches all of that? Probably. But an agent is going to be able to do it dynamically and then send an email back. Or just prep a draft or whatever is appropriate, depending on maybe it needs to give legal advice. Well, maybe the AI is in the system prompt is told just prep a draft versus just go ahead and send it. So the agent is there to exercise judgment, right, over dynamic flows where we can't script it perfectly. We don't know what's going to be there. I mean, that's not a very useful analogy, but like in terms of it's not an analogy at all. It's just a very prescriptive way of like where I see agents having a role. Whereas automation, like you said, is just whenever we have a repeatable process where we want the exact same thing to happen every single time, automation is still today going to generally outperform an agent in that context, in my opinion. But it depends. So I like your analogy. I think it's fine.
Good. I was hoping you'd be able to add something to it. I thought you'd be like, no, well, not that you disagree. There's that maybe we'd be, but if it works, it's worked. We'll just keep it the way it is.
I mean, so it's. I think that's. Yeah, I mean, I have to think about it. I think it's generally correct. It's just the idea of, single repeatable things versus dynamic, unpredictable things. Which one fits in which role. So I think you're right.